Hello, I am Vaughn Albury. Welcome to Ed Masterclass 101, an online program produced by the Communications section of the Ministry of Education. Here, we speak with stakeholders in education to bring awareness to the work being done to educate the nation's children. Today, we welcome Mrs. Evelyn Sawyer, the Assistant Director of Education in charge of the Examination and Assessment Division. Welcome, Mrs. Sawyer.
Thank you, Mr. Albury. It's a pleasure to be here.
All right. The Examination and Assessment Division is responsible for 4 national examinations: GLAT for grades 3 and 6, the BJC for 9th graders, and the BGCSE, an exit exam for 12th graders. In 2020, the COVID-19 pandemic affected these exams. In fact, the BGC exams were postponed twice, but completed. Already, plans are in the making for the 2021 exams. Mrs. Sawyer, tell me, how are those plans going?
Well, as you're aware, Mr. Albury, COVID-19 really set us back, but we're trying to get back on track with our schedule. And so we are presently entering or students or candidates for the BJC and BGCSE examinations. Even though we had a delay, we still have to, there's certain things that we still have to do to prepare for the 2021 examination. And so right now, like I said, we are entering candidates for the 2021 examination, and our subject secretaries are already working on the exam papers for the 2022 examination.
For 2022?
Yes, we always try to keep a year ahead in the event that something unexpected happens, that we'll be ready.
In terms of candidates, have deadlines passed, or are candidates still allowed to register for the 2021 examinations?
Well, at the school level, administrators may still enter candidates. However, we have discontinued registration for the private candidates or unattached candidates. As you're aware, we have some very strict deadlines that we have to adhere to. We have our service providers, the printers. We also have other suppliers, and we have to adhere to their deadlines. It's not business as usual, or if a week or 2 weeks or 3 will make a big difference to our schedule.
But thankfully, we are on schedule for these national examinations.
Yes, as far as I'm aware, we are on schedule, and we are praying that there are no delays for 2021.
Well, tell us about the subject coordinators in your section. What has their work been like?
Well, when you have to run from, it's almost like there has not been a real break between the 2020 and the 2021 examinations. Normally we finish the examinations in August, and so then the subject secretaries normally take a vacation break. However, that has not happened this year. And so I am doing my best to encourage them to take a short, even if it's only a short break. Even with short work days, they're still packing a full day into the shorter work days, and a number of them have no difficulty with staying a full day.
Well, most of us, I'm going to speak for myself, we thought this pandemic, we would have been past this. We're still dealing with it. Mm-hmm. Do you expect any challenges, any setbacks? How are you prepared, your division prepared to deal with that if in the event it comes?
Well, Mr. Aubrey, you have to always be prepared for the unexpected. And nobody anticipated COVID in 2020. But the Examination and Assessment Division, we have always risen to the occasion, which whatever challenges have come our way, we have put our heads together and come up with a plan to make sure that we get things done. Because after all, our clients are the children of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And once we keep that in mind, then we do whatever we can to make sure that the exam proceeds as planned.
Now, what are the dates for the examinations? Can you tell us that?
Yes, we'll start with the BGCSE. The BGCSE will run from the 13th of April. We will start the practicals on the 13th of April, and we will run through until June 25th. And that is, like I said, we had to bear in mind that the children were out of school, and we thought if we could give them a couple extra weeks. So even though the schedule is different from what it would normally be, in terms of when it starts and when it ends, as far as we're hoping that we have no delays where we have to make any adjustments. And then we have the BJC examination. The BJC begins on the 4th of May, and runs through to the 25th of June. And then we have the GLAT. We didn't have the GLAT last year, but we're hoping that we will have it this year. So instead of that beginning in, let's say, the second week of May, we'll start on the 31st of May and run through to the 3rd of June.
Oh, quite interesting. Now, I noticed that your headquarters on the Tonic Wheel Limbs Darling Highway attracts a lot of people.
Yes.
What other services do you provide at examination and assessment?
Well, our main function, like I said, is the development and administration of the national exams. In addition to that, we house the examination records for all of our national exams. And so persons, let's say a person who even got their certificate last year, sometimes they can't find it, so they have to come to us for a statement of their results. We also provide records of school attendance, mainly for the passport office and for Department of Immigration, sometimes even for the American Embassy. We provide school records. We also provide a proctoring service, and so we administer exams, say for college students who, especially now students who are doing exams online. Their schools may require that we proctor exams for them, so that is a service we provide. We also administer professional exams, the ACCA, exams for the University of London, also exams for the Bahamas Maritime Association, and any other exams that need to be proctored once schools or let's say universities or whatever notify us. That's a service we provide.
That's an extensive list of services provided.
Yes, and
How big is your staff?
We have 30 plus members.
Keeps you busy all year?
Yes, sir. We hardly get a break.
Now, you and I earlier had a conversation about the D grade. There's been a lot of flack in the press about the D grade, and some view it as fail. But tell us, under the new system, under the BGCSE and BJC, tell all of our audience, what does the D grade mean?
The D is simply an average grade. If we have a 7th-grade grading system, when the BGCSE examination was introduced in 1993, we mirrored the grading system that was being used by the IGCSE, which is administered by Cambridge University. And so we use that same grading scale, A through G. None of the grades are failing grades.
Repeat that.
They're not failing grades. We have above average grades.
And that
an
runs
average
from
A through C.
Is above average.
Yes, a D grade, which is average, and anything below D would be a below average grade. Now, if a person gets a grade from E to G, or even sometimes the average grade to a G grade, we may suggest to the person that they retake the subject in order to better their grades, but they're not failing grades.
Wow. The D is not a failing grade. Just give us those dates again for the national examinations. The BGC, SE, and the BJC begin?
The BGCSE begins on the 13th of April and runs through to June 25th. The BJC begins on the 4th of May and runs until the 25th of June. And the GLAT starts on the 31st of May and runs through to the 3rd of June.
Well, so now you children, and the parents too, because parents play a role in this. The dates of the examinations, they are on schedule. Thank you very much, Mrs. Evelyn Sawyer, the Assistant Director of Education in charge of the Examination and Assessment Division here at the Ministry of Education. Parents, remember, it is your responsibility to ensure your child's attendance in school, because education is everyone's business. Join us again for another edition of Ed Masterclass 101, a program produced by the Communications Section of the Ministry of Education. I am Vaughn Albury. Have a good day.